Welcome everybody, Dan and
Mhm.
Kashi here from GiveUpPain.com.
Hi, friends. We want to talk to you about facing up to your fears.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, we have a lot of energies coming in today, and it may be triggering some things inside of you. So we wanted to
Mhm.
take a few moments here, and Kash has drawn a few cards out, and just kind of show you the energy that we're sitting in today.
Which overall is kind of an awkward back and forth energy. We've tried to do this video 3 times now, and each time we get on here, we're facing the same kind of thing. So we understand that there is this kind of energy we woke up into today. It is
Yes.
it is it is like it's like we're all so far ahead and we're all actually doing so very well. But in some ways, when we woke up today, we all took a little step back, just a little step back, a little bit back into the anxieties that we used to have, a little back into the things we used to think of, a little bit back maybe into the not as harmonious thoughts and internal speech that we
Yeah.
really should be doing and that we're doing more actively on a day-to-day basis.
And it's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay. It's
Yeah.
just understand where we are right now,
Hmm.
and release yourselves
Yeah.
from it. So
Now, we've just had a really big solar flare. So please understand that that kind of solar eruption is going to feel like something in our bodies. You may have seen a couple articles circulating on Facebook about how electromagnetic energy from the sun and from the earth actually
mhm.
does play into our sensations and how we feel in our bodies. And so we're beginning to come online and actually understand this better and better, but we still lag in real-time data that gives us accurate information as to what's happening in our environment. So a lot of the time when we have a solar flare or a big burst of energy in our environment, we're simply just not aware that it's happening, and we take that energy and we translate it into something must be wrong with me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be stirring up some emotions in you that you thought maybe you'd let go of, and maybe they're
Mm-hmm.
still there just a little bit. But it's
Mm-hmm.
our opportunity, as always, to release and let something go.
Absolutely, which is actually a part of the reason we wanted to come online with you guys here today and offer some tapping and some releasing to help you get through this active energy so you can feel better as you're feeling this stuff in real time. Because let's face it, we're all evolving, but it certainly has a feeling to it.
Hmm.
And it's very much like having to give over to a process. Because right now, if we could sort of encapsulate it into one grand event, but for all of us, we're all going through a very rapid birthing process, and we are changing from the inside out, and that feels like something
Hmm.
because we've always associated that consciousness is just like a intangible thing. It's our thoughts, it's those things we don't really feel. But in actuality, when you're moving up the ladder or the staircase of consciousness, there's actually lots of sensations along the way as your body, which is real and tangible and has sensations, has to come up with that rise. And so it has to actually make changes in order to keep up with the frequency changes of your consciousness. So it's a hand in hand kind of experience, and you're basically going through it at the same time, because you're not out of your body. If you were, that you'd be you ejecting out of your body, and we don't want that. We'd like for you to keep going.
Yeah, and you're a result of all the things that happen to you in your life. You're a result of all the programming that you've received, and so like I know like Cash and I we tap every day on anything that's coming up in us
Mm-hmm.
because we realize just how thoroughly programmed we've been throughout our lives to not believe in ourselves, not to not feel
Mm-hmm.
who we are, to not to even self worth issues, and all of these things that have been delivered to you over time throughout your lifetime. You see,
Mm-hmm.
there are always opportunities to tap and release, let go of these emotions, let go of this past programming, because it's not who you are. You're all good and wonderful people. You're all loving and kind and compassionate. You all
Yeah.
matter. You're all worthy. You see, it's just we've been programmed thoroughly and through fear
Mm-hmm.
and this is the effect that this is the result, if you will, of this thorough programming that we received.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So that's why again, one of the we don't even actually like to call it a tool, because when you call something a tool, it gives it the impression that you're supposed to sort of set it down sometimes. We tapping and release is a way of life. It's just the way you move through things so that you actually have full manageability of your emotions and your state of inner being. All of us say we want to master ourselves and we want to be mastering or masters, but we really have to take back our self-empowerment and realize that we have the ability through certain small gestures to completely change the way we feel and as a result how we're living our life and how our life looks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important to sort of let go of this idea that that you actually need tools to fix yourself. All you need is determination, and you just need a pathway. And this is what tRt is for us. It's a pathway into yourself, a pathway into your psychology. Yeah. So
Well said, Kat.
yeah, so we've done a lot of wonderful talking about it. So why don't we just do some having a release with our friends here. Now we're not doing this live simply because we don't have a great feed where we are. Some of you know we were out in the country, so we're pre-recording this, but we're feeling into you guys. We're feeling into the collective pulse. And we're using ourselves as a guide also to know where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So if I just may, I did pull out a couple cards prior to our interaction here or exchange here, and it's kind of twofold. I've got two really, really negative heavy cards, and right side by side I've got two really nice positive empowering cards. So here's kind of where we're at. We're kind of in between two different worlds. The world of the old way, where we used to be in a relatively negatively charged environment. If you wanted to say it this way, and I have to give Danny the credit for this because he really helped me put this together, but our old energy, what we were living prior to 2012 to that 2016 marker, was old, hot, negative energy. And in that hot, negative energy, we were always in this impression. We were always having this experience of having to work through things difficult. Like, let me just read you some of these things here. So, expecting the worst, worry, unfounded fears, sleepless nights, having racing thoughts, fear of choosing something that isn't the right choice. Fear of fulfilling prophetic prophecies, like negative self-fulfilling prophecies. So isn't that ironic? So it's literally about the very energy we're coming out of, and the need to actually release out of that. So that's in this card right here, and you can see it's not a really comfortable card to look at. It's all about mental turmoil, and followed right up with this one here, which is which is actually the death card. And in many ways, friends, we are dying to that old way. The old world is dying. But the funny thing is, if you were to look a little closer in this card, it's a little hard to see, but all through this bird carcass are the words life equals 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 life. And this card in actuality is the grand card of release. So again, this is all about releasing those old patterns, releasing that old way of life, and more than anything, releasing that negativity that was driving all of us. Mm-hmm. That internal negativity. See, this is where the tapping comes in, correct and continue. Now, we are actively moving now. We are in now. So not even moving now, but let's just give it some new words. We have succeeded in all that cumulative desire and wish to transition, to ascend, to become something more. Friends, we have done it. And we have collectively shifted our energy out of that old, negative, hot energy into a cool, positive energy, an energy of synchronicity, working together, an energy, a living ether that is actually pulling us together, and not just pulling us together, but giving us the opportunity to take all those tools and self-empowerment techniques and actually have them work for us. Things are going to start working for you more and more. You're actually going to find that every day, in every way, things are getting better and better for you because you're actually in a really positive and conductive energy, a cool energy. Some of you guys might be feeling it in your body when you're meditating, this really cold energy that's going through you. And that is literally our body readapting to a very new energetic expression around us.
Well said. Shall we do some tapping?
Yes, let's do some tapping.
Okay, so let's just address how we're feeling in this current moment. Okay, so even though I'm feeling a little off today,
I
deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling a little off today,
Even though I'm feeling a little off today,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling a little off today.
Even though I'm feeling a little off today.
Not quite sure why.
Not quite sure why.
I deeply and completely
Love
and accept myself.
Love and accept myself.
I now release myself.
I now release myself.
From this feeling of being a little off
From
today.
this feeling of being a little off today. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
From all this feeling of feeling a little off today.
All these feelings of feeling a little off today. On the back of the head. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
From all these old ways.
From all these old ways.
That are hanging on.
That are hanging on.
And making me feel a little off today.
And making me feel a little off today. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
From all the things I've heard.
From all the things I've heard.
That are making me feel a little off today.
That are making me feel a little off today. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
As I look around my world.
As I look around my world.
And feel a little off today.
And feel a little off today. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
And I release my body.
And I release my body.
From all those things I've said.
From all those things I've said.
That make me feel off today.
That make me feel off today. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
From all my stories.
From all my stories.
Of feeling off.
Of feeling off on the collarbone. I now release myself.
I now release myself.
And I release my body.
And I release my body.
From feeling so off today.
From feeling so off today.
I'm so sorry, my body.
I am sorry, my body.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
I'm so sorry for hurting you.
I'm so sorry for hurting you.
For being off today.
For being off today. I love you.
I love you. Take a deep breath.
There you go. Very good.
So as always, we invite you to join in the tapping and to kind of wrap yourself around the idea that when you participate in a way like this,